Hello, everyone. This is Senior Biotech Analyst John Vandermosten. Welcome to our channel that educates the life sciences investor on exciting advancements in drugs, biologics, and devices. For more content and news like this, subscribe to our channel below and like or share with others. Welcome back to our interview today with Dr. Lax Bhat. He is the CEO of Reviva Pharmaceuticals, and I'm biotech analyst John Vandermosten. We cover Reviva at Zacks Small Cap Research and have a $16 price target on the company. The company is focused on schizophrenia and brilaroxazine, which is their lead candidate. So let's get started by discussing Reviva's clinical work. You completed a welcome, Dr. Bhat. You completed a phase 2 trial, and I wanted you to tell us what was so compelling about that trial that led you to this point now where you've actually started a phase 3 trial.
You know, the phase 2 study, we have done slightly different than what other companies have done in this space. The patient population in the phase 2 study was acute schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder patient population. When we say schizoaffective disorder patient population, there are only one or two drugs in the phase 2 development they conducted in this patient population, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder patient population. Schizoaffective disorder symptoms are by and large close to a great extent overlaps with bipolar, mood symptoms, major depressive disorder. Mm-hmm. So if a drug can show efficacy in this mixed patient population, so to a great extent we can make in a conclusion, this drug can be extended for treatment of bipolar and major depressive disorder. We have seen in the phase 2 study 20-point improvement on positive and negative symptom scale. Positive and negative symptoms, it's also called PANSS scale. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is used for as a primary endpoint for evaluating efficacy of an antipsychotic drug. So, in the secondary endpoints, is also very critical. In the phase 2 study, brilaroxazine, brilaroxazine showed 20-point improvement. So you might ask me, how good is this 20-point improvement compared to blockbuster antipsychotics in the market? Right. So 20-point improvement is really a robust data. Approved blockbuster drugs in the similar trial showed anywhere around a 13-point to 18-point improvement.
So at least 10% better, maybe 60%
we
better.
believe it is anywhere, depending upon which drug you compare, maybe anywhere around 25 to 50% better. And then also the side effects, as you know, the most approved antipsychotics are known to cause weight gain, leading to drug-induced diabetes and dyslipidemia, and then also hormonal imbalance. And then besides that, it's also known to cause neuroleptic side effect. We have seen no change in body weight, sugar level. In fact, sugar level and then lipid profile went down compared to placebo, and then no change in hormone. So these are all good features compared to other approved antipsychotics, widely used approved antipsychotics. We are very optimistic, very encouraged by the data what we have in hand. And coming to the phase 3 study, as I mentioned, the trial design is essentially similar to successfully completed phase 2 study.
Okay. So there's a well-known pathway forward regulatorily.
Yeah. Correct. That's what we are very optimistic about outcome of a positive outcome of the phase 3 study.
Let me just reiterate what you said, because I think it's really important.
Sure.
That the side effect profile is better, they're on many sides, and then also the efficacy is better than what we have out there. And in fact, Zacks actually put together a chart, which I think may appear in some of your presentations, which shows the side effect profile and the benefit profile and compares them to some of the other leading candidates in the space. And it really makes a compelling argument for using the drug. But since we're talking about the clinical trials and where we are now, let's shift back to that. And I just wanted to make the point that you've started a phase 3, so your late stage clinical trial. I think you said it might be about an 18-month trial, so maybe mid next year it might be ready. Tell us a little bit about that trial. How big it is, and what you expect to find from the work you're doing there.
Well, similar to successfully completed phase 2 study, phase 3 study is a pivotal global trial in 402 patients compared to placebo. We are doing 2 doses, 15 milligram and then 50 milligram dose. So we are currently planning to recruit around 50% patients in the US, 25% patients coming from Europe, 25% from Asia. It's in other words, it's a true global phase 3 study.
Yeah.
So primary endpoint is same. It's a PANSS scale compared to improvement on PANSS scale compared to placebo.
And I just want to ask one thing there, because I think it's kind of interesting what the PAN scale is. Maybe just a few examples of what the positive and negative items are in that.
It's a schizophrenia. Often it's a very complicated disease. Positive, by and large, even though there are 4 major components associated with schizophrenia, the primary goal in 3 to 4 weeks is to stabilize patients. So primarily it focuses on positive symptom. Positive symptom is kind of a visual hallucination, audio hallucination. The patients are
seeing and hearing things. Yeah.
Correct. So if the goal is to, once we address that hallucination, whether it's an audio or visual hallucination, patients get stabilized. That does not mean that patients recovered. They are stabilized. They need still treatment to address other symptoms.
Like the negative symptoms.
Residual symptoms, often we refer, negative symptoms, mood symptom, depression, and then cognitive. That takes longer time. So often in the trial,
what's an example of a cognitive symptom?
Cognitive symptoms, they are disorganized. It's not memory per se, but it is a more sort of a attention related. They can't focus. They can't focus on regular cognitive function related work.
Sure.
So often we call it as a depression and then cognitive related. There is a scale called social inhibition. In other words, if you treat patients with antipsychotic, after that, how good they are in functioning independently, doing regular work in society. So that's a kind of a that can be evaluated using social inhibition scale. If you look at our data, phase 2 data, we have our brilaroxazine has shown statistically significant improvement on negative symptoms. It's very hard to treat. And then also the social inhibition scale on the day 15. So we will be evaluating again on the secondary endpoint with a larger patient population. We believe this could show, in the phase 3 study, we will see much more robust data compared to the phase 2 study, what we have seen, the positive outcome.
Okay. Very good. Well, so just to reiterate on the phase 3, should take about a year and a half, about 400 patients there.
Correct.
And, we'll see a readout in 2023.
2023, mid of 2023, that's our anticipated timeline for providing top line data. But we also intend to, as we announced in the last press release, we intend to initiate dose finding study for additional neuropsychiatric indications, bipolar, major depressive disorder, and ADHD. So by the time we complete the pivotal phase 3 study, we hope to give, at least, if not for all, at least a 1 or 2 indications discussed here, top line data, dose finding data, as well as efficacy trend. These are all the dose. Primary focus is to find the right dose to conduct phase 2 studies.
And we're going to talk about those topics in the next segment. So I want to thank you for joining us for this segment where we talk about Reviva's active clinical trial in brilaroxazine. We'll come back later and talk to you more. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. To hear more, follow us on Twitter @VanJohn10 and Instagram and our channel Unboxing Biotech.